Out of all the new A Starless Clan protagonists, Sunbeam is by a large margin leading the charge in the competition of the most interesting. My expectations didn't fail me. Frostpaw and Nightheart, they have their moments, but this video isn't about them. Go away. With Sunbeam, we just have genuine drama with her relationships. And I'm not even saying that her chapters are extraordinarily good. Her mother Berryheart has really bad characterization that paints her as a nasty hater of love without really giving any room for nuance or moral grayness. In Blazefire, the strain of Sunbeam trying to desperately hold their crumbling connection is interesting. I just wish he had more personality traits or plot events that were independently his. But of course, the focus of this video is Lightleap. She might just be my favorite character in A Starless Clan. Back in the Broken Code, I never really felt like Pouncestep or Lightleap's characters would go anywhere, and Lightleap being all sad about not being mature enough to go to the Dark Forest felt like a plot point that was super out of place given our lack of prior development. But as it turns out, this was the prior development, and her true story was in this new arc. I guess it's a bit ironic how much I love her considering how unapologetically mean she is, but it's just, she's mean in a way that's astoundingly interesting. She falls out of a tree because she was being stupid, lands on Sunbeam, hurting her back, and then not only makes Sunbeam take the blame for her own injury, she doesn't even say thanks when Sunbeam agrees to go along with it, and she talks over Sunbeam, not even trusting her to go along with it. And when Sunbeam eventually does have to tell Shadowsight out of genuine concern, who tells her parents, she uses that as a basis to be distant and spiteful to Sunbeam the entire book, blaming Sunbeam for something that was her fault, and that was a much greater injury on Sunbeam's back than it was for her reputation. It's something that's so undeniably awful and hateable, but as the reader, I actually appreciate that she did it. Books need conflict. If there wasn't any cat giving Sunbeam a bad time, then I might as well just skip her chapters. And it's not like Lightleap committed murder or anything. She's just a stinker. She's antagonistic in a way that's wacky and fun. And not only does Lightleap provide conflict well, she provides conflict that is given a solid foundation. She is explicitly developed as a careless and desperate jerk, stepping on others for her own benefit. Both the tree incident and the Dark Forest incident are such great bases for a character to grow from. In Nightheart's chapters, the cats who are mean just don't have the same depth. Moving on, let's talk about Blazefire. This was a cat Sunbeam had grown so close to and was convinced would be her mate, and then very conveniently, as soon as the tree incident happens and Lightleap is no longer spending time with Sunbeam, he's hanging out with Lightleap all the time, and soon he falls victim to Lightleap's antics. He breaks his leg after Lightleap dared him to check out a cave. Does Blazefire hold any ill will towards Lightleap as a result? Not at all. If anything, he is more offended by Sunbeam, since he tells her they wouldn't be fit to be mates because she is too much of a rule follower. Is it weird that Blazefire would side with Lightleap after she led him to breaking his leg? Yeah, but that's a very intentional plot point. It's unfair because it makes the book interesting. It's just so juicy. Of course, Blazefire has no obligation to pursue a relationship with Sunbeam, but it's still very odd that he made a complete 180 the moment Lightleap pushed her way into his life. He swears he's not mates with Lightleap, but as the reader, we aren't convinced that will last for long. But rather than be all pissy and call Lightleap a boyfriend stealer or something like that, Sunbeam actually is rather mature about the whole situation. I mean, she runs through thorns out of insecurity with her rule follower image, but later, in the preview for Sky, she really shows that she cares for Blazefire beyond the mate stuff, and hopes for the possibility that they could still be friends. And the most fascinating part about the character arc surrounding Lightleap is that after all this abuse, Sunbeam actually still cares about her. And all her comments she makes to Lightleap come more from concern than spite. Even something as suspicious as Lightleap possibly knowing about Reed Whisker's disappearance doesn't sway her from caring for the cat. In many ways, she is more obsessed with Lightleap than she is with Blazefire, who she was trying to be mates with. I jokingly ship them together. And in the preview for the upcoming Sky, she expresses that she still sees Lightleap as a friend and hopes their relationship will heal. I just find it super interesting how devoted Sunbeam is to a cat who has never shown her the same respect. Does Sunbeam need to not hold Lightleap's opinions so highly? Yeah, for sure. Is Lightleap in the wrong? Absolutely. But in the meantime, it's just so fascinating to see where Lightleap's wacky antics take Sunbeam. And I really hope they don't mess up this ongoing character arc in Sky, because it is genuinely the best thing the books have currently. Alright, bye everyone!